A Bite at Freddys is a brand new FNAF fan game as of the recording of this video, releasing on the 6th of October 2023 and being developed by Garrett McKay. I found out about this game's existence from the PlainTrace video A Bite at Freddys is insanely good that came up in my sub box along with an 8-Bit Ryan video on the game. I decided not to watch either of these videos at the time as I wanted to go in blind and experience it for myself. I was especially looking forward to this fan game because both of the videos were giving it very high praise within the title and or thumbnail, and even just new FNAF fan games are always something to look forward to for me personally. So after playing and experiencing the game for myself, does the game meet up to the hype and praise it's been given? We'll be answering that question here today in this video. It's a good old Donny Productions classic, boys. We're back to the FNAF videos. Just before we get into this video, I want to say that this video is entirely my own opinion and you are completely free to disagree with me. I'll be more than happy to talk about this in the comments if you want to leave your opinions. I'll be sure to respond to absolutely everyone. Now, let's start off with the visuals as they are, well, easier to talk about because it's literally what you're seeing right now. A Bite at Freddys looks absolutely phenomenal. Like, I was completely stunned by how everything looks in this game. All the office and the camera renders look beautiful and is optimized to perfection with some really smooth frame rate. The animatronic designs also look very clean and well made, and I do really like them. But moving away from the visuals, another thing I can give the game praise for is its uniqueness in the concept of the gameplay. You need to wait for 3 orders to be delivered to their designated locations and confirm the order on your cams to end the nights, or courses as this game brands it. You need to stop the animatronics attacking you by turning off the lights in your office if you see them appear. Another way they may attack you is by attempting to climb into your conveyor system. You can deal with this in one of 2 ways. When you see them about to enter the conveyor system, you can either close the door to stop them via the cameras, or if you fail to stop them in time, you can stop the conveyor system by using the lever in your office and it will make them leave. There's also the threat of Foxy and Freddy that get added later on, where Freddy will attempt to attack from the vent, activate the fan to make him leave, and Foxy will eventually leave Pirate's Cove to mess with your cameras and force them to take up generator power. In the script I also forgot to mention Chica's mechanic as well. Chica will sometimes appear in your office just under your desk, and when she appears you have to pick up this toy gun and shoot her between the eyes, and you have a few seconds to do so, and if you fail or miss, you're dead. And speaking of the generator power, any actions in this game such as closing doors, activating the fan in the vent, stopping the conveyor system, or turning off the lights will contribute to increasing the generator power used. If this power reaches 100%, it will go into overload, and you won't be able to do any of these actions until the generator power is back to 0%. This is where I start to talk about my issues with the game, because on paper, the gameplay sounds very good and enjoyable. However, in execution, it turns out to be quite the RNG based experience, and if you are unlucky enough to have animatronics attack you all at similar times, requiring you to use up even more of your generator power, you're then forced into an overload with absolutely nothing else you could have done about it to stop them, which can lead to your death. This is really frustrating to deal with in game and caused me at points to just want to completely stop playing the game, which is never a good sign for any game. I also want to mention something that completely makes no sense to me about this game at all. I understand this is a game and I probably shouldn't be thinking this deeply into it, but I have to at least mention it. As I said earlier, if any animatronics enter your office, you need to turn off the lights to make them leave, and in doing so, the generator power will be used up. And that's just it. How on earth is turning off the lights contributing to the power being used? It is quite literally one less thing active and using power in the building and not using any electricity. So how in the blue hell is that causing the generator power uses to increase? I understand they needed to balance out this mechanic, but come on, this is just a bit silly. Another huge problem I have with this game is the complete lack of any proper ambience, building no tension whatsoever, and causing the experience to be quite flat for me in terms of the horror element, and causing me to not really be scared of or alarmed at any point from any of the jump scares. The only ambience present is the sound of a fan in front of you, along with maybe some sound effects here and there. I really do not feel scared or under threat at any point whilst playing this game. It feels more like a sit and survive game, rather than a scary horror FNAF fan game. Let's compare this to the ambience in FNAF 1, the droning and the constant fear of what might be lurking in the dark as the animatronics start to gain on you. their heavy footsteps being heard as they do so, the carousel music that randomly starts blaring, and Freddy laughing as he moves closer and closer to your office. This is how ambience really makes a game. Imagine playing FNAF 1 with only the sound of the fan and maybe some footsteps. It just really wouldn't hit the same without the droning and general environment sounds. A Bite at Freddy's really lacks some great ambience that can really drive home the horror aspect, and it's a huge reason as to why I'm not able to enjoy this game as much as others. I actually experienced this game with fellow creator Spoopy Melon, and this is our thoughts on the games after I had given up with the final night. Yeah, so I think final overview for me personally is just like, looks great, it's a wonderful looking game, it runs really smoothly. I can understand where they were going with the gameplay, but it seems very heavily RNG based. In certain situations you are forced to go into an overload, there's nothing you can do about it, and which guarantees death. And it just doesn't really scare me at all, to be honest. I didn't feel it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't give you like that anxiety. Like FNAF 1, you're on edge, like you feel on edge the whole time because of the ambience and the audio used. I feel like this is really lacking. They just use like a fan sound in the background.
Yeah,
it reminds you know
what? It was
what?
Good execution, but a not good idea.
Yeah,
you know?
like I feel like I really don't like using this comparison because I feel like it's doing this game an injustice, right? Because it's compared, but it reminds me of Garten of Banban ambience. Like it's just nothing. It's a whole lot of nothing going on, and you're just like, is this supposed to be a horror game? Like I don't know. Like I'm upset on it. I'm not in tears or anything, but like, you know, I'm disappointed. I am, because everyone else is like seems to be really enjoying this, thinking it's so good. But I don't know. I can't really get behind it. Like I think it's all right. I see this more as just like a sit and survive game rather than like a sit and survive horror game. You know what I mean? It's just more of like a power management sit and survive game. I just don't see the horror aspect in it whatsoever. If it had some ambience on it and everything like that with some tension and build up, then absolutely I could see how this would become a lot scarier. But the way everything is, not at this current moment in time.
Yeah. In Five Nights at Freddys, you like really don't want to die. Like, no, don't get into my office. Here it's just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just die and I'm just like, okay. Like, and that's, yeah, I know that usually happens with FNAF games, like, eventually, like, after you die a couple times, like, eventually, or you get semi-used to it, you know what I mean? But the tension is still always there. I don't know. I don't know. Well, that was A Bite At Freddys. Well, that's pretty much my two-piece on this new FNAF fan game. Even though I didn't enjoy it as much as others, I would highly suggest that you go and play it for yourself to form your own opinion. Link will be in the description. Well, that's all from me today then. Have a good day, evening or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.